Alright, so my name is Master Lukey, the mixed martial artist formerly known as Luke Kumo, the silent assassin. I was in the UFC for 6 fights. I got mild traumatic brain injury, which I discovered later after I left, but it totally destroyed my life. I lost my wife and kids, and I only got my life saved by Dr. David Jubb, who put me on a natural healing protocol. And through this training that that we did, I got a medicine name in the Native American tradition. So the word healing in Native American, medicine, it means fixing the behavior. So it's not like, oh, you're just going to take this and you're going to be better. That doesn't work like that. I had to first of all go on a special menu that had a lot of pumpkin seeds and had to avoid certain ingredients. The pumpkin seeds I turned into a commercial recipe that I'm working on. It's called Dino Tracks. And I'll post that video soon. I got the buckwheat sprouting right now, and I'm just kind of like fine-tuning the ratios of all the different ingredients to get it to be perfect. It's basically a big goldfish cracker that you can make a sandwich out of, and it's healthy for kids and developing brains. The other thing I had to do was stop doing head contact in MMA, and I created a system of scoring for action instead of damage. It's called Master Lukey's League of Champions. My next event is July 3rd. It's called Operation Wounded Warrior 2. It's the second one I'm doing. The first one we raised $1,000. I'm just waiting for one more check to come in, and then I'm going to give that money to Operation Wounded Warrior. The next event that is going to be only ticket sales. So I have to sell 50 tickets at $20 each to make up $1,000. And it's gonna be not easy to do, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit that mark because I'm actually having 2 tournaments this time. Operation Wounded Warrior 2. We got 2 separate tournaments, above 150, below 150. It's probably gonna be 2 5-man tournaments, and each 5-man tournament comes out to, I believe, 12 matches. So it's gonna be a full day of MMA action. Stay tuned. Let's see. Speaking of MMA, I'll go right into the Nate Diaz story. Got my laptop here. I'm babysitting. If you could tell, I got farmer's tan from being on the site. That's why I didn't broadcast at night the past couple of nights, because I've had to go to sleep, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to function. I have bad depression from the brain injury, and I got to get my sleep, so I've been going to bed. But I'm babysitting right now. I'm babysitting until 10, so I figured I'd just jump on instead of playing Fortnite. That's how committed I am. News is taking precedence over Fortnite, but hopefully we can get this done and I can get into a game, because the season's ending soon and I got to get to tier 100. A fed-up Nate Diaz urinates outside UFC headquarters. Quote, "They won't cut me." Nate Diaz continues to complain that the UFC will not give him a fight. A fed-up Diaz went to the UFC headquarters and urinated outside of the UFC's offices. Nate Diaz is doing everything in his power to force the UFC's hand and do something about the final fight of his contract. Diaz has complained that the UFC is slow rolling him by not giving him a fight for the past few months. I'm gonna search Google for slow rolling. We'll look that up in a second. "I've been trying to fight everybody and no go. What's the hold up, UFC? I'm not fighting Connor. He sucks. I'll fight someone. Quit slow rolling me, please. Thanks." Things have gotten so bad that Diaz has asked for his release. Let's see, what's slow rolling? What does the term slow rolling mean? Also a verb meaning to deliberately make something take longer than it needs to. Since then, organizers say the administration has been appropriately and unnecessarily slow rolling the process. Okay, so that's an example. So, hey Rick, what Nate Diaz is saying, and most likely right, is that he has a big contract. You know, Nate Diaz is making money. Um, they don't want to give him a fight because he's not going to re-sign, and if he does, it's going to be for more than they're willing to pay. So they're trying to find the perfect fight where it's like goodbye Nate Diaz. You know, somebody like Kamzat who's going to beat his ass. They won't re-sign him. It'll make Kamzat look big, and Diaz will be sayonara, see you later. That's what I think. They're trying to find the perfect goodbye fight for Nate Diaz. Somebody they want to build up. Somebody who's on the level of Nate Diaz, so it's not somebody like Nate Diaz is not going to take that Kamzat fight. It's too much of a risk to get his ass beat for somebody who doesn't even really have a name. Kamzat Chimaev does not have a name yet. He has one big fight. So who's in the top 10 that can fight Nate Diaz? You know, that's in the middle of their contract. Somebody like, I think, didn't they book the Michael Chandler fight? Maybe. That would be the perfect fight because Michael Chandler will probably beat his ass. But I would root for Diaz on that one. 100%. I like Diaz even though he supposedly banged my ex-girlfriend when we were on a break. That's what she said. And he blew up my spot when I told him I did urine therapy. I told him I not only drink it but snort it. And he went on some internet forum and blabbed about it. I'll fight you, Nate Diaz. What's up, Empty Wallet Multimedia? How are your ears, man? Are you deaf from the concert? LOL. I would like to request to be released from the UFC, Dana White, Hunter. I apologize for asking online, but you don't give me a fight ASAP. I got shit to do. Speaking of me fighting Nate Diaz, when I got the text today from Project Blue Agate, it said Nate Diaz, what did it say? The story was Nate Diaz UFC cut me. So I thought it was like Nate Diaz saying that they did cut me. He's saying, please cut me. But I was thinking, you know, I was like, oh shit, Nate Diaz. That's a guy that I could fight in the league. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm doing construction now. At the end of, not next week, but 2 weeks, because it takes a week. Like, I don't get paid for this week until next week, and I don't get paid for next week until the week after. So I'm like thinking to myself, oh, okay, so in 3 weeks, I'll have $2,000. I mean, I won't have $2,000 because I'm going to spend some of it. But, you know, I'm thinking, oh, what if I take my dad's car? Because he hasn't asked for it back, so it's basically mine now. I mean, he's eventually going to ask for it back. But what if I steal my dad's car, you know, steal it, and I take the $2,000 and I drive to California? I could do the tour that I've been wanting to do for years. I'll have $2,000. It'll be enough for gas. I won't really need much for food. And I'll challenge people along the way. Ex-UFC fighters, current UFC fighters, current martial arts school owners, and document the whole thing live on my YouTube channel. Of course, when I say fight them, I'm talking about under my rule set. I think it's the perfect thing to go viral and show people about the League of Champions. And, you know, the ultimate goal would be to get, yeah, kind of like Dojo Storms, yeah. Yeah, I could do Dojo Storms, why not? But it would be under my rule set. And this is something I've been planning for years. And the only reason why I didn't go is because, you know, my kids. But it's gotten so bad it's gotten so bad, you know, with my kids that it's like I won't even be missing anything if I go. And if it takes me a couple of months, you know, I'll miss out a few visitations where they're on their phones the whole time, not even barely communicating with me. You know, that's how bad it's gotten. But then I saw, you know, that he's not actually getting cut. But I'm still, you know, planning something like that. I don't know. It's like they say you can only be happy where you are, and like I feel like something is telling me to stay here and build it here. I got a really good feeling about my next championship. I do want to make an app or an interactive website where people can do the voting on their phone while watching the video on their phone. So let me see if I can get that up by the next event, and then maybe I'll leave after that one. I'll do one more. I don't know what that means, bro. Natty Riccio? I have no idea what that means. So these are the things that I think about. I gotta take a shower. I'm itching from the site today, sweating and dust everywhere. Alright, let's go back to Nate Diaz. Riccio beat Gracie in a Gracie challenge. Oh, I see. Oh, was Riccio like a juice head? I got you. Yeah, I'm full natty, obviously. Got skinny hair. Here we go, back to Bro Bible. Yeah, so the ultimate goal, you know, not the ultimate goal, but what I was thinking when I saw this story was, you know, go to California and challenge fucking Nate Diaz. He's got money. He's the perfect guy to join my league, you know, to work with me. And it's like, I'm thinking, like, part of me is like, oh, I don't want him to steal my idea. But then it's like, who gives a shit? I'm going non-profit anyway. I want to make it a worldwide thing. And then, you know, why not give it back to the people? So these are the things I'm thinking of. I'm either going to go non-profit, making it a non-profit organization, or put money into Lucuma Incorporated and, you know, make that a thing again, do it through Lucuma Incorporated, or both. I could have, you know, part profit, part non-profit. Things I'm thinking about. But I could get to California, you know, Dr. Job's out there. He's in Vegas, I think. And he could help me somehow. But we'll see if I'm going to do it here, if I'm going to go on tour. We'll see. Diaz has now resorted to escalating tensions by urinating outside of the UFC headquarters in Vegas and mocking the company's clothing sponsor, Venom. Taking a piss on the UFC PI. I could do this because I get paid more than all you guys and they won't cut me. Yeah, he wants to get cut, huh? And here's my middle finger for bitch-ass Venom UFC gear, too. Nice. Yeah, Venom's one of these front runners. They jumped on the board, you know, when fucking UFC got big. Bring Tap Out back, man. They were there in the beginning. Bring them back. UFC president has not gone into detail about the Diaz situation, but it's unclear what the holdup is and why the UFC won't get him a fight. No, we know why. As for Diaz, it appears that he has more suggestions about a potential fight. UFC got me on ice for a year now. Chandler's obviously ready to fight. Send a contract. It's time. July 30th, 170 pounds. Yeah, because Chandler said he wants to fight Conor at 170, so. And then Chandler came back and he said he would do it. So, I think that's a good fight. I would probably pick Chandler because he's got the power and Diaz gets hit. But I would definitely be rooting for Diaz. 100,000,000%. So, let's put that out into the universe. Me versus the Diaz brothers. And one more dude in a 4-man tournament. Master Lukey rules. You know? To promote the League of Champions in California. It's going to happen. You know, it's not right that the UFC is profiting on people getting fucked up like this. Look at his face, man. He's definitely got brain damage. You know, he wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed to begin with, but if you compare him now to where he used to talk, there's a big difference. And Nick also is affected. You know, I think Nick's worse though because he's a party animal. He drinks. It seems like his body is not as strong as it used to be. I mean, neither is mine, but it's not because I'm drinking. I don't drink, but I'll fight either of them. I'll fight both of them. I don't care, especially in my rules. You know, I don't care if they're black belts. I don't care if they beat me. My rule set is a system where you can lose a fight and not be injured. And I lost half of my fights. I never got finished, but I did get injured. Yeah, I would say my ground game's more survival than anything, and it has gotten better. So, you're gonna see me fighting a bunch of people, hopefully. That's the plan. You know, even if I lose most of them. I don't care, man. I'm tough enough. I can take a beating. That I have proven. But under my new rules, you're going to see I could take a lot of more beatings. You know, maybe it'll be comical. Me going in thinking I could beat somebody, talking shit, getting my ass kicked in every city. Maybe I will beat some of these guys. You'll be rooting for me. The underdog. I'm not trying to slow roll it, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best path, you know? I'm not trying to take my time. I know people's lives are on the line. The only guy I saw beat you was Matt, and you weren't trying to beat him back, so it wasn't really fair. I don't know which Matt you're talking about, Matt Hughes or Matt Serra? Talking about when Matt Hughes gave me a concussion on the Ultimate Fighter doing the ground and pound drill? Yeah. I did get a concussion, but I was crying. Yeah. I was crying. Crying is a sign of concussion. You know? Imagine me getting emotional about getting my ass kicked. I don't think so. Yeah, people were congratulating me for making Sam Morgan cry when I knocked him out. Did he do it to Joe too? I think he did it to anybody who would let him, but Joe is a much better grappler than me. I don't think Joe would have got grounded and pounded like me. I was only a blue belt at the time. I'm still only a purple belt, but Joe was a black belt and a good wrestler too. So I don't think Matt Hughes beat his ass like he did to me. Anyway, people take advantage, man. Matt Hughes is a bully. Russian news agency. Investigative committee to probe use of mental patients as guinea pigs in Kharkov region. Yeah, I felt bad for Jason Von Flew in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. I had like a little cut on the inside of my lip, and I kind of went to the hospital with him because I felt bad. You know, I didn't want him to go alone after what I did to him. So, but he was not pissed, but he was kind of like sarcastic in the ambulance. He goes, "You're an asshole." But I got one stitch in my lip, and it came out when I was eating at the after party. So, but he got more than one stitch. Gave him a big cut on his head. Investigative committee to probe use of mental patients as guinea pigs in Kharkov region. This is like Dana White and the UFC and the people who own the UFC fucking putting people in the cage to hurt each other and get money from doing that. You know, the UFC and the people are getting money, you know, putting people in a cage to hurt each other. Did you see Chuck Liddell with Tony Ferguson after Ferguson got KO? No, I didn't. What happened? The investigative committee will request information from the Russian Defense Ministry about inhumane experiments conducted in biolaboratories in Ukraine. Russia's Oh, I see. Consoled him. Yeah, Chocoladel, man. I'm a fan. I want to get those Chocoladel shorts. Those Iceman shorts, they don't make them. Those are fire. Russia's investigative committee will examine the Russian Defense Ministry's reports about inhumane experiments in biological laboratories in Ukraine with participation of U.S. representatives. Holy shit, the investigative committee told reporters. The investigative committee will request information from the Russian Defense Ministry about inhumane experiments conducted in biolaboratories in Ukraine. I feel like I read that sentence already. According to new information, U.S. representatives used patients of a psychiatric hospital in the Kharkov region for experiments on them. He told him you had him? No, I don't think that. I feel like it was only a matter of time. Tony's not a good style for that. Sorry. You have to be a really specific type of fighter to beat Michael Chandler. Khabib would outgrapple him, and then somebody who has good striking can outstrike him, but Tony doesn't have good striking. The worst concussion you ever got was playing the sock tag game for rugby. I heard rugby is brutal. According to new information, U.S. representatives used patients of a psychiatric hospital in the Kharkov region for experiments on them. To conceal their identity, the U.S. researchers would arrive via third countries, the statement says. The investigative committee pointed out that while working on criminal cases to look into the crimes committed by the Kiev regime against civilians, as well as into illegal biological research, the investigators would study the available information and come up with a legal assessment of the activities of all those involved. You know, these scientists are fucked in the head, man. These are the people that do experiments on people. They come up with new ways to kill you. I think what it is that scientists and doctors and people in college, they do drugs to stay up late and study. They do these, Adderall, cocaine, caffeine. I know if I do too much caffeine, I get, I get kind of like snappy. And then when I crash, I get depressed. Anything that, is a drug is going to have a side effect. And I think these motherfuckers in the hospitals, they're sociopathic. The people doing these experiments, they're psychos. Yeah, I'm weaning myself off caffeine. I did have some today around lunchtime because I had to I couldn't go to the bathroom without it. It was like knocking at the door, and the caffeine let it in or let it out. So anyway, I don't think it's right that people put themselves in positions of power and they're not qualified. Just because Dana White's got money behind him doesn't make him the fucking leader of mixed martial arts. And we don't have to go into it now, but the medical industry is very corrupt from the beginning of the American Medical Association. It's run by drug addicts and psychopaths and sociopaths, and they're trying to pass a thing next week, I think it is, or 2 weeks from now, that gives the WHO policy setting power. And the United States is the place where they came up with the the document or the law, whatever it is. Scary times, man, but what can you do except keep on fighting? And that I will do. Supposedly, this is my big year, according to astrology. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go across the country and fight people along the way. Maybe I'll just build the league here and then expand outward. But I'm going to stop broadcasting now so I can play a little bit of Fortnite. I think I covered the topics. And fuck Dana White. Fuck the UFC. I'm going to take over. And I know you won't fight me because you're scared, Dana. I'll fight you. No head contact.